So let's look at some video of how different teams or different coaches emphasize different aspects of the serve-receive skill. The first video is going to be of Kayla Barnworth, who used to be the libero for the USA women's team, and we'll look at some things that Karch emphasizes relative to the skill of serve-receive. One is notice the posture, where it's an erect posture, arms are out, palms are up, arms are extended, and that's how Karch wants our national team players to start relative to serve-receive. And then as we go through this skill, we're going to emphasize minimal movement. And as you can see, the first thing she does is she gets her platform in the path of the ball. And that's before the feet move. Platform goes first, feet go second if they have to. Karch really emphasizes the angle that your platform gives or has on the ball on contact. The idea is that's the only thing the ball knows is what's the angle of the platform. So he spends a lot of time with players angling the ball to target. There's less emphasis in getting right behind the ball. Again, notice the posture. It's erect, palms up, arms extended. And then as the ball comes to Kayla, and this is different than a lot of coaches teach. And one of the things we want to emphasize, there's no right or wrong, and there's no good or bad, but the consistency of instruction, I think, is the most important thing. So what Karch wants players to do is not so much pass on their midline, which a lot of coaches teach and a lot of very successful coaches teach. But what Karch teaches is to get the ball a little bit outside your midline and then angle the ball back to the target area. Erect posture, and then contact the ball off the left hip and push to target. This is Korea. Very successful team, very good passers, but they do it different. You notice that it's much less of a arms extended erect posture. It is more of a forward posture, and there's a little bit more emphasis on keeping that posture forward and down. So the biggest difference is the posture, okay? Shoulders to the net, trying to get the ball more inside their body on their midline. Upon completion of the pass, the shoulders stay forward. So their emphasis is, can we push it to the net? That's inside of their offensive system. We need to push it to the net so we can run a fast tempo offense. So that's how Korea approaches this skill. Same thing, shoulders are down. I'll back it up. Ball right at the midline. And then in our final clip, this is Brazil. Very good passing team. And Brazil very much emphasizes passing from a low posture, if at all possible, ball at the midline. So much more foot movement with Brazil passing. They fight to get behind the ball. Whereas if you're watching the USA team play, there's much less of a fight to get behind the ball and more emphasis on just get your platform out and angle it to the target. So here's Brazil. She fights to move back, let the ball come down, and get it right at the midline. And again, Brazil's a very good passing team. Midline, let the ball drop, and try to pass in a low posture. Our takeaway is, even though how a particular country or coach presents the skill, there are some commonalities. As we went through these videos, you never saw a lot of upper body movement as the ball's being passed. Whether it's Karch's players passing it off their midline on their left hip or Korean Brazil passing here, their upper body was very quiet and calm as the ball's on their forearm. And I think that's the most important takeaway, is your upper body's quiet. So if you're coaching age group players, how many times do you see these violent swings of the platform and twisting of the upper body as the ball is being passed? That is a guaranteed kiss of death. So work with your players in terms of if I'm emphasizing passing on the midline, that's okay. A little off to my left, that's okay. But also understand that serve receive is situational. Even if I'm working on getting behind every ball and passing right off my belly button, that's not going to happen 100% of the time because the server is back there serving areas of the court. So your passers, Karch's passers, Korea's passers, everybody has to be good at passing at their midline, passing outside to the left and angling it back, passing outside to the right, angling it back. It's all situational. So as a coach, present these situations to your passers with the idea of, okay, these next 10 serves, I want you to work on putting your platform outside your body to the right and angling it back to our target area. Even though I'm a midline guy and I can move behind the ball, we're working on this because it's going to happen. So much of serve receive, and actually a lot of skills, it's not a black and white skill. The ball's coming at me from the opponent, and it's not always going to come right at me. So I have to adapt my postures, high, low, right, left, to the situation in front of me.